pitch is looped towards shortstop. Petroselli's back. He's got it. The Red Sox win. There's pandemonium on the field.
Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show, brought to you each week by the National Sports Collectors Convention. Join us every Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get the latest news from the greatest experts in the sports collectibles world. You can watch us on the Great American Collectibles Facebook page, as well as YouTube, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Pandora, iHeartRadio, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. And now your hosts, award-winning sports collectibles author Tom Zappola and Boston radio personality Lou Blasi.
Boys, good morning. Good morning. Hello, to our loyal viewers and listeners. Good morning to Mr. Joseph Tomasulo, a.k.a. JT from Goldin Auctions. Welcome to Mr. Paul Borges from PB Collectibles and one of the new co-hosts of the Great American Collectibles Show, Sweet Louis Blasi.
It's not even morning when we're taping this, Tom. We're coming up with morning.
That's right. Welcome. That's a good point, Louis. Welcome, Lou. Just a brief programming announcement. JM, as you guys all know, affectionately know John Mallory as JM. JM has been with Rico and I about 7 years.
Yep.
And JM had a couple of opportunities that he is taking. So he is no longer going to be co-hosting with Rico and I. John Mallory and Lou, you can jump in here. He is so talented, it's like ridiculous.
John's my buddy. We get along. We've been friends for years. He's so talented. He's so good.
Great writer.
I just came back. I'm taking it personally because he took off as soon as I came back.
See, great writer, great personality, and he's got some great writing opportunities that he's going to be taking advantage of. John writes for Barrett's, which is owned by Sports Illustrated, and he's got some opportunities in some other areas also. So
John's got it going on right now.
Yeah. I think everybody knows what JM means to us.
Yeah.
I asked him if he would come on periodically. He said, if you're ever in a jam, I'll certainly jump in. But I want to say a fond farewell to John Mallory. Just a great, John co-authored, I don't know, five of our books with Ellen and I, and Lou co-authored one. So we got a great crew, and there's no better person to replace JM than Lou Blasi. Lou and I worked together for 17, 18 years.
100 years, 104 years.
Yeah. On another show, and worked at the beginning of the Great American Collectibles Show. So Lou's back. We are thrilled. Wealth of knowledge. Actually knows something about the collectibles world and sports memorabilia. So it's a win-win for everybody.
A little bit. I've been sitting in the front row for a long time. So
yeah.
All the experts here, yeah.
Actually, I just ordered some official Great American Collectibles polo shirts for Lou.
Nice.
So we're good.
Joseph
and Paul, welcome. The reason I asked Paul to come on, Joe, is that Rico and I are going to be in Newport, Rhode Island this coming Saturday. Rico is going to be appearing at PB Collectibles, Paul, from 1 to 3?
Yes, 1 to 3.
1 to 3, and I'm coming down because Paul has guaranteed me a free meal at the Mooring, which is one of the nicer restaurants in Newport.
Yes.
So I think just the fact that I've got nothing going on Saturday, I'm gonna come down with Rico, grab a free meal, and then I'm out of there. Fair enough?
It should be very nice on Saturday. I mean, we're really looking forward to having it.
Yeah, I tell you, I've seen a lot of responses on your Facebook page. A lot of people, it's stirring up some activity. So
yeah,
it's all good.
Well, who doesn't love Rico? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. One other thing, Joe, I want you to see this, Joe, because I really need your opinion, Joe. You're such a sharp dresser, the way you dress and the way you appear. Last week, Paul took a ride.
I tell my wife that.
He looks confused.
Well, last week,
Exactly,
week-
Lou.
Paul took a ride up here and to look at a collection
Joe,
that you had.
2 hours each way.
Well, I called Joe too, and Goldin, they're in a little different. They're a little different.
Goldin
level.
wouldn't be on this trip.
Right. So I called Paul, and he took a ride up, and when he jumped out of the car, I just looked at him, and I said, "What the hell are those things on your feet, Lou?"
Those are Keens.
Joe,
My son gave them to me, and he said a lot of the NBA players wear them on the road.
Joe, would you wear those?
I wouldn't, but they're very popular.
They are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well,
And let me just say this: where we were in a garage on a beautiful summer day,
to me, they look like water shoes.
Joe,
I would use those striper fishing on my little beach in front of my house.
guys, I had 3 hours with Tom in a garage.
Anything exciting in the
Not
collection?
really.
No, not really.
So, Paul, actually, I have to jump in here.
Uh-oh.
Tom sends me he knows what I'm going to say. He sends me a video a couple of weeks ago. And he goes,
Actually,
"Joe,
Paul was there when I filmed it.
Okay, tell me what you think." So, he's going around the room, and in the video are closed tubs. So I'm like, "Tom, what's in the tubs?"
No,
Like, what are you asking me to evaluate Home Depot tubs?
exactly.
Like, what's in them?
You're right. He's right.
By the goodness of my heart, I spent 4 hours driving.
He went through. I got to
And
say,
another
Joe.
3 hours going through this, and because the woman just lost her husband, which I'm very sorry for, I just wanted to help her out.
Louis
Wait a
and
second, and
Joe.
Tom's getting a free meal out of this. It should be the other way around.
I'll tell you. No, I mean, Paul, you bought some decent stuff.
Yes,
some
it was great.
decent stuff.
It's gonna fly.
Anyway, all right, let's get to business. Paul, stick around. We'd like you to stick around today. We're going to be all over the place because when Joe comes on, we talk a little collecting, we talk memorabilia, we talk auctions, we talk Red Sox, we talk about the Yankees, how they suck. We talk about a lot of other things. And to top it all off, we have the first round of the Elite Eight today in the Great American Collectibles AI basketball tournament. So this is a very exciting day. All right, Joe, you got an auction coming up. Let's right out of the gate. I was looking at the list that you guys sent. What are the highlights, man? You got a lot of highlights here. Talk about some of them.
Right. And Tom, just for some clarity, the auction Tom is referring to is our September vintage auction, our fall one. It opened September 10th, and it now closes October 4th. Okay. We do have an elite auction that closes Golden Elite this Saturday, and the following Saturday, the 13th, our Golden 100 closes. So
Gotcha.
we have so many auctions, Tom. I just have to get that clarity in.
Gotcha.
Anyway, September vintage. So let's just
And Louis, jump in here, baby. You've got the list in front of you.
right out of the gate, we have a 1917 Collins McCarthy Babe Ruth second-year card, highest graded PSA example, a PSA 4.5, with the Collins McCarthy ad back. What's interesting about this card, and one of my friends, name will not be mentioned, owns the original glass plate negative to this Boston Red Sox root pitching pose. This is a true 1915 spring training Ruth rookie image. It was taken in March 1915 at their spring training facility in Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Now, Joe, that's a 4.5, you said?
Yes.
What's the projected value?
I would say $250K to $300,000.
Okay. Paul, what are you doing? You're doing sign language? What are you doing here?
I think I have to go.
Oh, really?
I'm being booted out of this classroom.
Okay. Now, again, Paul, we understand. And by the way, folks, Joe, I don't know if you know that Mr. Borges is a college professor. And today your first day of classes?
Yes.
All right. Well, listen, good luck with your business classes.
Thank you.
And
I'm sorry I have to cut out on you guys.
Not a problem. Thanks for joining us, Paul. We'll
see
see
you
you on
Saturday.
Saturday. We'll see you on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Joe,
All right.
take
Enjoy
me
your
to the-
classes, Paul.
Take a 3-hour ride down to Newport. It'd be worth it.
Joe, we'll take you out to lunch too.
Yeah.
Take
Only
care,
if
Paul.
you're paying, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Paul Borges is going to be signing off. Paul's got a great teaching gig. He teaches business at Salve Regina University in Newport, Rhode Island. Yeah, he's got a good job. All right, Luke. All right, so the 250 to 300K on that particular card, Joe?
Yes, yes.
Luke?
Now, even more exciting and rare is lot number 2. We have a 1908 Greenville Spinners cabinet with the Greenville Spinners team with a pre-MLB Joe Jackson. That was his minor league team in 1908. Wow. And even more interesting is that is exactly where he got his famous Shoeless Joe nickname.
Wow.
So I forget the team they were playing. It's actually in the description. It was the second game of a doubleheader, and Joe Jackson was breaking in new cleats in the first game of the doubleheader.
Yeah.
He developed blisters. He was gimping around. He was like, the hell with it. He played the second game shoeless, just had his black stockings on. But obviously, black cleats, black stockings, you don't always look at people's feet. Right. It's hard for people to tell. He hit a booming triple in the second game. And when he slid into third base, feet flying up, sliding into third, a fan in the seats noticed that he was shoeless. So he screamed out at the top of his lungs, "You shoeless son of a gun." A sports writer overheard that, printed it the next day in the local newspaper, and alas.
And the rest is history, man.
The rest is history. The Shoeless Joe legacy was born.
Louis?
So this piece belongs in Cooperstown. It predates Jackson's major league origins, and I'm projecting this to go at least 150,000, if not more. As you know, guys, Joe, you can't touch Joe Jackson stuff.
Absolutely.
Since his reinstatement, prices have doubled and even tripled.
Wow.
A low-grade Crackerjack Jackson in a 2, previously selling for what? 75, 80,000, sold for over 200,000.
Would you be moving that Shoeless Joe stuff now, or would you wait for the possible Hall of Fame induction?
Lou, that is the question of the year. I think it's smart to sell some Jackson stuff now, because even in lieu of the fact that he's just reinstated, there's no guarantees he's going to be voted in. Now, if he does get voted in, there'll be a second wave. There'll be a second spike. But if he doesn't get voted in, again, this works like the stock market, guys. It's the same.
Right.
Jerome Powell goes to the microphone. Is he negative? Is he positive? So if he doesn't get voted in on the first shot, and people start saying, what's going on here? Is he not going to get into the Hall of Fame? So if I had a great Jackson piece, I think this is the time to move it. I really do.
Joe, type 1 photos. I see you have a type 1 photo, and I'm starting to get into type 1 photos. They to me, at the very beginning, I wasn't interested in them. Found them a little boring, but really key type 1 photos to key pieces.
Yes.
Off the charts now. Now, tell us about this Ruth type 1 photo you have.
Well, we have several. The one I was discussing with you earlier in the week, walk into the National, Tom, which is really cool. Someone walks up to our table, and they have this Knights of Columbus thick cardboard stock folder. And we found that it was from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They open up the folder, and there is literally a near mint Babe Ruth studio batting photo with Ruth resting the bat on his shoulder, looking straight into the camera. Now, if it was a baseball card, it would grade near mint plus.
Wow.
And that is not, oh, I'm sorry, guys. That is not typical for photos.
Right.
Photos from a card grading perspective, if you did an analogy, would grade like poor to VG condition.
Yeah.
Most of them. This thing would grade a near mint 7+.
Wow.
The thing looked like it just came hot off the presses. And it's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. It's I believe, I forget the lot number, but it's definitely like in the first 15, 20 lots. And we expect this thing to go at least 6 figures. It is a unicorn from a condition-based perspective.
Very nice.
105 years old. And again, it just looked like the studio issued it. Incredible piece.
I'm a little
And of
reluctant.
course, I got to throw in 1920, and I hate to say this to you Red Sox fans, as you know, is Ruth's first year in the Bronx. So, Fazet had traded Ruth to fund his no.
Yeah, we know the story, Joe.
Broadway
We
show.
know the
Right.
story.
Well, everyone makes mistakes, but 1920 Ruth inaugural Yankee collectibles, guys, are extremely valuable.
Are they really?
So now you take the condition of the photo, it's a unicorn, one of a kind for the condition. And I believe in any condition, there's only one other one known.
Cool.
So
Very cool.
yeah.
Louis?
Like Tom, I'm a little reluctant about the whole Type 1 photo thing too. And it's like, it seems like you can pay a lot of money for a Type 1, or you can just get a reprint of the photo and just put it up on the wall for a lot less. Is the market limited, or is it wider than I imagine it is? I don't know how Tom feels about it.
So can I jump in here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lou, think about your question, which is a viable question. I mean, you can make a reprint of a card. Think about it. You can just reprint any card. You could reprint the Ruth rookie. They're out there. So to me, there's no difference. You reprint the photo, reprint the card. But here's the difference in a photo and a card. Most cards are more plentiful. They're more out there. And the second thing, a photo is an image taken at a moment in time. You freeze time. So if you we got a Type 1 1915 Babe Ruth rookie image, which I had spoken to Tom about also. That is Babe Ruth pitching for the Boston Red Sox at a moment in time during 1915.
All right, so Joe, I want to interrupt you because Lou's bringing up a good point. I don't know a lot about Type 1 photos, and I don't think Lou knows much about Type 1 photos. I mean, I've dabbled in them. I bought a few, sold a few, but a Type 1 photo is a photo, for instance, of this Ruth photo. I mean, it could be a photo taken by a photographer for the New York Daily News at the ballpark at that snapshot in time, correct? So how can all right, if that's the case, how can there be more than one Type 1 photo of the same photo?
Great question, simple answer. Because they're taken off the negative. But the reason it's a Type 1 is a Type 1 photo has to be taken off the negative relatively, like I guess within a year or two of the, that negative being produced.
Right.
So let's say so I told you my friend owns the original negative of the Collins McCarthy Ruth.
Okay.
If he took that to a photo place, he could run off 1,000 of those images.
And it's still a Type 1?
No.
Okay.
It'd be a Type 2. Because when they're issued a year or two, pretty much a couple of years after the original negative was created, Now they're called Type 2s.
I got you.
And the game changes.
All right. So obviously then we're going to take a break in about half a minute. Obviously then the fewer Type 1 photos that there are of a particular image, the more valuable they are.
Yes. But even in the case of this studio photo that you brought up, Tom, there's 2 known.
Right.
Which is great.
Which would make that a very, very expensive and valuable Type 1.
There could be another one like this one.
Yeah.
You know, tucked away behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But you can't reproduce them if you find the negative and, reproduce them off the original negative. They're going to be Type 2s.
Gotcha. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break.
Just to close this up. So someone works for an old newspaper and they have what they claim is a Type 1 photo. How do you go about authenticating this? And I'm guessing Type 1 photos come out of shoeboxes like cards do, right?
They sure do.
They move stuff and they just come out. How do you go about authenticating that it's a Type 1 photo?
PSA principal photo authenticator.
Right.
The great Henry Yee is the guy that makes that decision. And Lou, he's pretty much spot on, 99.99.
And plus, Lou, you can tell the texture of the photo. And obviously, the photo also has a stamp on the back that, sometimes they write in the date. It was taken on August 5th, 1921. Joe Smith, New York Post, something like that. Sometimes you'll see that stuff. All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have the Elite 8 of the AI basketball tournament. But Joe, I want you to think about this during the break because I know you work for Goldin and you guys you do a lot of modern stuff, but I want your thoughts on the $12 million Logo Man sale of that card. We're going to take a quick break. Joe T is in the house. Louis in the house. Hang in there, and we will be right back.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a 2-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petroselli. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
For more than 30 years, Robert Edward Auctions has been the industry leader when it comes to helping you realize the most money for your baseball cards and sports memorabilia. In addition to their unparalleled reputation for honesty and integrity, they reach the largest number of bidders in the business and offer lower seller's fees, as well as generous cash advances up front on your valuable material. Contact them today at 908-226-9900. That's 908-226-9900 or at robertedwardauction.com.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Well, look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game-used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game-used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
Okay, we are back, and Joe Tomasulo from Goldin Auctions is in the house. Before we get into a little more card discussion, it is time now for the GACS AI All-Time NBA Basketball Tourney, powered by Danny, the basketball savant, and sponsored by our good friend Paul Borges, who was just on, and PB Collectibles. Go to PB Collectibles for your favorite cards, and if you have a bitch about this segment, don't call me, call Paul or call Danny. I don't want to hear it. All right. We are down to the Elite Eight, and this was a good matchup, man. This is a real good matchup, guys. Elite Eight, this is week one. We have the 1995-96 Chicago Bulls versus the 1982 and 83 76ers. Now, determining a hypothetical winner between the 95-96 Bulls and the 82-83 Sixers really involves weighing the different strengths and weaknesses of the two legendary dominant teams from different eras. While the Bulls are often cited as the greatest of all time due to their 72-10 regular season record, the Sixers, however, had a lineup uniquely equipped to counter Chicago's biggest strengths. The key matchup here is Moses Malone versus the Bulls front court. Now, let's look at this. Malone's dominance. The 1983 NBA MVP, Malone was a physical and elite offensive and offensive rebounder who had no equal on the 96 Bulls roster. So the Bulls really had a lack of an answer. Bulls forward Dennis Rodman was the greatest rebounder of his era, but he was 7 inches shorter and 30 pounds lighter than Malone. While Rodman would give him fits on the defensive end, Malone's strength would likely give him the advantage. No other Bulls big man, including Luke Longley, would stand a chance against Moses Malone. Now, the Sixers' potential advantage, Dr. J himself noted that the Bulls had no one that could match up with Moses. In a low-scoring defensive series, Malone's size and rebounding could give the Sixers the edge. Now let's compare. While Malone is the X factor, the individual matchup between Michael Jordan and Julius Erving and their respective running mates is also crucial. Michael Jordan, as the best player in the Bulls and arguably of all time, not arguably, he is, Jordan's elite skill and competitive fire would be a major advantage. He could go toe-to-toe with any player in any era. Scottie Pippen. Jordan's Hall of Fame sidekick, Pippen, was an elite defender and playmaker. His defense on Julius Erving would be key, though Erving's speed and athleticism would test him. Erving, on the other hand, still an explosive and dynamic scorer and defender in 1983. Dr. J would present a challenge for Pippen. He and Mo Cheeks would need to lead the Sixers on offense. And finally, Andrew Toney, the Boston Strangler, was a prolific and tough scorer who could create offense when the stars were the star supporting cast. Another guy you're going to throw in here that was an excellent coach, Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson, did he or did he not have a little advantage? I guess we'll never know. But in any event, even though the final outcome could be a coin flip, heavily influenced by the officiating and the era's rules, based on personnel alone, though, the Sixers would be the slightest favorites. Their one-of-a-kind advantage with Moses Malone in the paint is the kind of matchup nightmare that even the greatest teams of all time struggle to overcome. Final score, Philadelphia 76ers 119 in an upset over the Chicago Bulls 113. What do you guys think of that?
It's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup.
Tough matchup. Joseph, what do you think?
I wouldn't bet against Michael Jordan peak value in his career if he faced the best 5 players in NBA history.
And something, I mean, that just really could have gone either way. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, a great matchup, Tom, but I give it to Jordan because that guy refused to lose. Losing was not in his equation.
Yeah, and in the NBA, you get the ball in his hands for the last possession and in a close situation, and most of the times he's going to come through. This is a one-off, right? This is a one game. Who knows?
One game, baby. One and done. One and done.
I'm going with the Bulls.
All right, that's fine. No, and I something. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to disagree with you, but I found it kind of interesting.
It's a nail biter. It's a bomb.
So next week we have the 2016-17 Golden State Warriors against the 2013-14 San Antonio Spurs. That's going to be another great matchup. Some great teams.
Forget that. Joe. Forget that. The week after that is the big one.
Oh yeah, I have my ranch bet on the number 3 seed, the 85-86 Celtics against the Michael Jordan 96-97 Bulls. That is when that's a hell of a team. That's going to be a hell of a matchup. All right, Joe.
They're all hell of a team.
I know they are.
They're all great teams.
Joe, I want to ask you your opinion. I'm a vintage guy. I embrace the modern card industry collections. It's all part of the same hobby. We all know that. I do question some of what goes on in the modern market. And I think you may too. I'm not sure. But what are your thoughts on that $12 million card?
Okay. You would have made a good lawyer, Tom. What's the number one in a court of law? What's the first rule a lawyer has to abide by? Never ask a question you don't know the answer to. Okay?
Good point.
And you know what I'm going to say.
I do. I do.
So, okay. Obviously an amazing card. But here's what gets me. And Lou, please chime in.
Yep.
So you take a Kobe Bryant piece of a game used jersey, right?
Correct. Yep.
You take a little swatch, a piece of a Jordan.
Yep.
You find 2 autographs, right?
Yep.
2 cut autographs. You slap them in a 2 by half, 3.5 card, insert them.
Yep.
Call it a 1-of-1, and it's worth $13 million.
Correct.
Now, you could buy, think of it like this. You could buy 2 amazing game-used jerseys from those guys, autographed by both, for well less than $1 million. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's mind-boggling. And now, if you ask, if your question, Tom, is it going to hold its value? I don't know. I mean, no one could really answer that. If someone can answer that, they should be on the floor of the stock market.
All right. So what's to prevent the next card?
Nothing.
Right?
No. Yeah.
Lou, right?
Yep.
What's to prevent the next card from being created that takes it up just another notch?
Right. Now, I will say this. The advantage of the Kobe Jordan card is they're pretty much out of the woods on a bad headline in the paper of destroying the value of their cards. So my thing is with the modern players, so let's take Mr. Elevator Ride Ray Rice, okay? All right?
Yeah.
So let's say you put, hypothetically, millions into a Rice card, which wasn't the case.
Okay.
This stuff was never worth that much. But let's say it was, and then you pick up the newspaper, beats his girlfriend, whoever it was, elevator ride, punches her in the face. You got problems. You're a steroid headline away, PED user, bad domestic disturbance headline away from a current player. The value of their stuff being flushed down the toilet.
But in this case, both of these principals have already experienced some of this.
Right, but they're pretty much, Lou, out of the woods.
Yeah.
You know, God rest his soul. A terrible tragedy. Kobe's gone. And Michael Jordan's retired a long time now. And he's like Tom Brady. He's pretty much established his lifelong niche. I don't think there's anything that could bump Jordan off that like zenith level he's at.
All right, so let me ask you this, Joe. All right, let's take it backwards to another level. You have a shoeless Joe Jackson. Let's assume that Joe Jackson he's in the Hall of Fame. So now you have a cut autograph of Shoeless Joe. You have a cut autograph of Babe Ruth. You have a little piece of a Babe Ruth jockstrap or whatever you want. And you have a little piece of a Joe Jackson jersey. And you put it all together. You create a card and you put it in a slab.
1-of-1.
1-of-1.
Yeah.
What is that worth?
Millions.
Right?
What level? I don't know. But it's worth millions.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Lou, Lou,
This comes down to the principle of your business, doesn't it, Joe? Is that you put this in a situation where it's an open market and you don't know what the value should be, but you know that someone's going to exceed it.
Exactly, Lou. Yeah. We will let the collectors ultimately determine the true worth of a collectible.
Right.
The most enthusiastic collector, not collectors, the most enthusiastic collector.
All right, so
I was just being general, right?
All right,
yeah.
So now let's look at
someone with a very large checkbook.
So let's look at the principals that bought the card. Okay, principals that bought the card are headed by Kevin O'Leary. Is that his name, O'Leary?
Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary.
Shark Tank. Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank leads the charge with 2 other high-powered investors.
Yep.
Are they creating something? Are they trying to create something, or are they just passionate?
Possibly,
right?
And Tom, it's great for the market. I mean,
I'm not saying it's not, Joe.
Right. But yes, I mean, to your point. So now you see this 1-of-1 went for $12.9 million, and you got people now sitting in the back seat saying, "What's next?" what's the next hidden gem? But again, I caution you. A Mike Trout refractor card years ago sold for $3.8 million. Because of his injuries and the last few years, that card, it's probably may not even be worth seven figures.
Well, we've been talking on this show for weeks about manufactured rarity, and the fact of the matter is that card could become one of two in a week.
Of course,
if someone wanted to put it together.
Absolutely,
or one of three or one of five.
You know what the problem is, Lou? The problem, though, is that it's coming from one of the 2 or 3 top card companies in the world. And I think that's part of the problem. They're holding the goods. They're holding the goods. They're creating a market. I have a problem with it. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people think I'm nuts, but I have a real problem with it.
So do I. But again, our passion for vintage, that's us. There are people that have equal passion for this manufactured modern rarity.
Joe, is it because, again, I've asked the question.
They're right.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Joe, but in reality, what percentage of those people are doing it for the love of the hobby rather than the investment?
It's a good point. Obviously, O'Leary and his 2 partners, this is an investment piece.
Yeah, they're
not doing it because they want to stare at Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's signature.
Right.
And 2 swatches.
All right.
My ignorance on this, what was the sale mechanism? Was it an auction?
I don't know who. Was there an auction house? I'm not even sure, Joe.
Someone bid $11 million.
Yeah, this sold this.
Who was it, Joe? Oh, Heritage.
This was Heritage.
Heritage. Okay. Yeah, it was Heritage. Yeah, Heritage sold it.
So it was bid up to that amount. It wasn't.
Yeah, so I'm sure Joe and Derek and Prov are going to get pissed off at me, but hey, it is what it is. Listen, before we take a break, Joe, we've talked about Yankees, we've talked about Red Sox. However, we really, really need to talk about an up-and-coming superstar. We watch him all the time, every day. His name is Roman Anthony. What are your thoughts on him?
Unlimited future. I wish he was wearing pinstripes, though. It's great.
He's a stud. Lou, what are your thoughts? Because you're a baseball guy, man.
I love him. And unlimited future, Joe put it exactly right. I mean, what this guy is capable of and what's going to happen. I mean, I haven't seen, he's young. The power hasn't come in quite yet. And when it does come in, I mean, I love the fact, I had this feeling with Rafael Devers when he first came in too. He's not overwhelmed by anything up here.
Nothing phases him.
No, he's up to speed already. And it's just like, it's limitless. It's just going to be exciting. I'll tune into the games to watch him hit. He's one of those guys. I just love to watch him hit. Yeah.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry. We can. No,
sweet swing.
He's got a beautiful swing.
One of those beautiful swings.
And then we have a picture coming up too, Joe. Joe, I'm telling you, Red Sox Nation is very excited about.
And you don't have Cashman as your GM.
And
so you have huge prospects.
Oh, no, I'd trade for Cashman at this point, but that's another story.
No, you don't want him.
No, he's not a big fan.
You don't want him.
Yeah.
Lou's not a big fan of our current general manager.
No, not. No.
All right, listen, we're going to take a quick break. We have one more segment with Joe Tomasulo from Goldin Auctions. Got a great auction coming up. A couple of more items we have to talk about. And there's some other stuff. I want Joe's World Series prediction. We're going to talk about a few other things. Hang in there. We shall return.
I'm Rebecca Curry, a 2-time child cancer survivor, recipient, and advocate for Lucy's Love Bus. The mission of Lucy's Love Bus, 501c3 nonprofit, is to provide joy, comfort, and quality of life for the entire family of children with cancer. Since 2006, they have delivered love and comfort to over 3,000 children with cancer and their family members across New England. The dream of Lucy Grogan, an 11-year-old cancer patient, was to help kids with cancer who are suffering right now, before there is a cure, by offering free, integrative therapies like art, music, horseback riding, and many other activities. Unfortunately, Lucy passed away, but her dream lives on, and today Lucy's Love Bus is thriving.
I'm Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico. I hope that you'll consider supporting Lucy's Love Bus and all of those children who have been stricken by cancer. The Great American Collectibles Show is partnering with Lucy's Love Bus to help these kids. Let's continue Lucy's dream. Please go to lucyslovebus.org for more information.
Pristine Auction is a family-owned and operated online auction specializing in autographed memorabilia, sports cards, coins, art, and collectibles. Since their founding in 2010, they've grown to 2 facilities in Phoenix, Arizona, totaling over 60,000 square feet. Jared Cavalier and an incredible staff of over 150 team members serve a very large customer base and enjoy every minute of it. By working with leading authentication companies, Pristine ensures all items are 100% authentic. In addition, third-party authenticators regularly travel to Pristine Auction to provide authentication services on site. Pristine Auction strives to operate its business in a way that's honoring to God, their families, and their customers. With a strong focus on speed, quality, and premier customer service, their mission is to be the leading online auction for every level of collector and fan. Pristine also works for Hope Sports and Identity Hoops International, traveling to Mexico to build houses for the less fortunate. Pristine Auction offers several online auction formats with thousands of auctions ending each day. For more information, go to pristineauction.com. That's Pristine Auction, the best in the business.
If you're a discerning collector interested in owning the most important pieces in the hobby, look no further than Leland's Auctions. The original sports auction and appraisal house, Leland's was established in 1985 by legendary Pioneer founder Joshua Leland Evans. And today, President Mike Hefner carries on their tradition. From the Tom Brady card and memorabilia collection to the famed Boston Garden auction to high-end card auctions from every major sport, Leland's has always maintained the highest standards. Go to Lelands.com and get your bid in. That's Leland's, the hobby's leading sports auction house for 4 decades.
It's often been said that championships are won on the practice field, and world records come only to those willing to work harder than everybody else. Heritage Auctions is the world's largest collectibles auctioneer because we believe that becoming the best is only an invitation to the challenge of remaining the best. This requires the skills of the hobby's top experts, capable of identifying and maximizing value for our consigners. It requires the most visited website in the industry, courting a global audience of collectors over 1.5 million strong. It requires a dedicated press department that expands our global reach far beyond the entrenched hobby marketplace. It's hard work, but a simple premise. Present the finest collectibles to the largest population of potential buyers, and world records will come. We invite all listeners to put the unmatched power of Heritage Auctions to work for you. Auction evaluations are always free, and our commission-based fee structure ensures that our interests are always aligned. Highest possible price for your collectibles. There will always be new world records to chase, so let's chase them together. Visit our website at ha.com and request your no-obligation review today.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auctions, here to remind you that the renowned Memory Lane Collectibles Company has served as a beacon of light to the collecting community for the past several decades. Indeed, folks, it has been our utmost privilege and pleasure to provide the most enthusiastic collectors with an abundance of the finest sports cards and memorabilia for America's most coveted sports personalities via our world-class auctions. Whether you choose either a private sale transaction or the auction route, Memory Lane cordially invites you to reach out to us to maximize the value of your prized possessions. Also, it is not just sales that we pride ourselves on being the best of the rest, because if you are seeking a particular keepsake for your esteemed gathering, we will be relentless in our quest to find that special piece to fulfill your collecting dreams. So no time to wait. Reach out to us today for the purposes of capitalizing on our unparalleled marketing capabilities. Simply pick up the phone and dial 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE, or find us on the World Wide Web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Now is the time for your valued consignment to ultimately become another one of Memory Lane's record-setting prices.
Okay, we are back with Joe Tomasulo from Goldin Auctions. Louis, why don't you tell our friends about the Philly Show?
Happy to. East Coast Sports Marketing presents the Philadelphia Sports Collector Show, also known as the Philly Show, presented in partnership with eBay. Join us on Friday, September 19th through Sunday, September 21st at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, Hall A, 100 Station Avenue in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Inside, you'll find over 300 dealer booths, plus an additional 75 TCG and Pokemon tables, covering more than 130,000 square feet of collectibles heaven. Cards from the 18th century to today, signed memorabilia, Pokemon, Funko, merchandise, and more. Major auction houses and grading and authentication companies on site. It's family friendly. Kids 10 and under get in free. Autographed guests involved include Philly favorite Fletcher Cox, John Kruk, Von Hayes, Terry Mulholland, and Garrett Stubbs. Plus Hall of Famers Reggie Jackson, Wade Boggs, Andre Dawson, and Tony La Russa. World Series champions Steve Garvey and Bill Madlock, college football legends Rudy Ruettiger and Ricky Williams, and cast members from The Sandlot and the Mighty Ducks movies franchises. Come celebrate 50 years of the Philly Show, where it all started. For more information, visit phillyshow.com.
All right, before we get to Joe, I want to talk about, Joe, I'm just going to ask you one question. How important is insurance for collectibles, for collectible memorabilia and for cards? How important is insurance?
Well, you have insurance on your house, your jewelry. It's the same thing.
Right.
Your car, anything.
Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency has been insuring collectibles since the early 80s. The late Tom Finkelmeyer wrote the original sports memorabilia insurance policy when no one else in the industry was insuring sports collectibles. A lifelong collector of sports cards, Tom Sr. instilled the love of collecting in Tom Jr., the current president of Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency. Tom Finkelmeyer Jr., with 3 decades of insurance experience, has paired that expertise with 50 years of collecting. With a litany of professional designations, including counseling and risk management, Tom covers every aspect of your collectible insurance needs. Unlike some of the companies that sell collectibles insurance directly to the consumer online, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency is the only independent retail agent who specializes in memorabilia and collectibles nationwide. Representing all of the major companies that sell collectibles insurance, there's no agent that insures more collectors, dealers, appraisers, auctioneers, or events in the collectibles hobby than Finkelmeyer Insurance. Our good friend and hobby legend, John Tobby, as well as Memory Lane owner J.P. Cohen, have been using Finkelmeyer Insurance for over 20 years. For more information, go to thefia.com. That's thefia.com. And a special little shout out to a young individual who I know very well, who, if he doesn't get insurance, I'm going to track him down like a dog and beat him with a baseball bat. Mr. Joe Mariano, I am publicly telling you to make your phone call today, or I am going to kill you. Other than that, we're good to go. Hey, Joe, your World Series prediction.
This year, I'm looking at Detroit and the Phillies.
Detroit Phillies, not bad, not bad. Lou, any thoughts?
That's tough. I like the Dodgers, not because they're playing well, but because they have that inbred in them. They step up in the big times, but they got a lot of issues going on. But I'm still kind of sticking with the Dodgers. Detroit I like a lot, but that's the same problem. They don't have a lot of playoff experience, right? So who would come out of the American League? I don't know. Yankees is the case. Toronto's a very good team. They don't have that championship experience.
No, I'm kind of liking Detroit.
Kind of wide
too.
open.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of
Actually, Tom, I am gonna go with the Dodgers because it just slipped my mind. Zach Wheeler is done for the year.
Yeah,
that's right.
And that could be the decision. The deciding factor.
Here's the thing: when Detroit gets to a best of 7, how deep are they going with the rotation? Scooble's great. But Casey Mize has been struggling a little bit. John Flaherty has been struggling all over the place. They don't have a really deep rotation. Going to be tough. A long series is going to be tough for them.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joe, you're a pitching coach. You work with little leaguers. You've worked with high school. You've worked with college. You worked with minor leaguers. Can you take us through? We have a few minutes. Take us through the whole dynamic of how pitching has changed from when guys like Nolan Ryan and Sandy Koufax and Louis Tiant would throw in 200-300 innings a year. What are your thoughts on that? I've never asked you this question. I mean,
it's simple. Money. So then Nolan Ryan once threw over 200 pitches in a game.
Yep.
Okay.
Crazy.
Think of it like this, Tom. What's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, pitching duel in baseball history? Juan Marichal beat Warren Spahn 1-0 in 16 innings at Candlestick Park. Willie Mays hit a home run off Spahn in the bottom of the 16th. They were both still in the game. God only knows how many pitches they had thrown.
All right, but you're saying money.
But
how does money play into this?
Because they're protecting the arms now. So, you throw 90 to 100 pitches, that's it.
Right.
85 to 95 pitches, they push 100 because they're paying these guys 5, 10, 15, 20
All right, so let me take the
million
opposite.
a year.
All right, so let me take the opposite position. How many years did Sandy Koufax pitch? Oh, I'm sorry. Put him off to the side. How many years did Juan Marichal pitch?
Juan Marichal, he came up in the early 60s.
13, 14, 15?
13, 14 years, yeah.
How many innings did Nolan Ryan pitch? 20, 21, whatever the hell it was. 26. Don Drysdale, Louis Tiant. Those guys pitched amazing amounts of time, years. And then you're saying it's money, which I agree, but look at the careers. Look at how short the careers are of pitchers today. Why? Is it because of how they're throwing?
Tom, that's a good point, but here's what's happened. Look, I'm not saying Marichal didn't throw 90 miles an hour. And Koufax threw up in 90s to 100. Ryan threw 100 plus.
Right.
Tom Seaver threw up in 90s. But they were a few of the guys that threw that hard. Almost every pitcher today is 95 to 100 miles
so
per hour.
it's more. And Lou, please jump in here.
Joe just hit on my point, which I think is important. And I'm going to get on the analytics side, and everyone's going to get pissed at me. But if two pitchers went 12 innings into a game, they're going to see a batter 6 times. In Major League Baseball today, a hitter seeing a pitcher for the 6th time, it's not going to happen. They could beat guys. Nolan Ryan could beat guys. Nobody can beat guys with velocity now. And we see the numbers first time through the order, second time through the order, third time through the order. Pitchers are pitching short. They're pitching 5 and 6 innings because many of them can't just beat guys after the guy's seen them 3 times in the ball game. I think that's a huge part of it. Nolan Ryan was a beast, and he could just out-throw people. It didn't matter if you're seeing him for the 6th time. You knew the fastball was coming. You knew where it was going to be. You still couldn't hit it anyway. There's no hitters are too good for that right now. It can't happen. Nobody can do that.
Well, that's a good point.
Now, Lou, it can happen, but only for the elite. So I'll give you an example. Pedro Martinez could face someone 10 straight times.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Away 0 for 10.
That run on the change. That run on the change was unbelievable.
Here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
Good pitching stops good hitting.
Yep.
If you're going to throw a pitch mid-90s on the black with movement, or pull the string on a changeup, or drop a slider or a curveball on the knees consistently, even great hitters aren't hitting those pitches.
Yeah.
And that's why if you fail 70% of the time as a hitter, you're a Hall of Famer. You can be a 300 hitter, have a 70% fail rate, and be one of the best of the best. So, but the thing is, to your point, Lou, all pitchers can't do that consistently. And if you take 9 out of 10 pitches and they're facing a hitter 4 times a game, let's say 4+ a game, they're going to get you.
Well, Louis, can you imagine if Nolan Ryan were pitching today, and he pitched until he was, what, 40, right?
Yep.
46.
Okay. Can you imagine him pitching less innings? He would have added another 5 years onto his career. Right. You know, I mean, it's just hard to.
And that's another thing, Tom. Piggybacking off what you just said, here's why you can't compare Kershaw, DeGrom, pitches like that to Seaver, Koufax. They didn't only get the win, they got the save.
Right.
So think of how important the save statistic is. They got the save and the win. And the other thing is they had to pace themselves for 9 innings. So Tom Seaver wouldn't go out in the first inning and be throwing 98 to 100 miles an hour. You know, maybe low to mid 90s. He'd be in cruise control.
Yeah.
Come later innings, he saved his best for the most critical times of the game, like most great pitchers do. So these guys, like a DeGrom, Kershaw, peak value, they could go out and blow for 6-7 innings and not have to worry about the last 3 to 6 outs because they didn't have to get them. Now, that's not their fault in their defense, but the fact remains, can you imagine if Gibson, Seaver, Ryan knew they were only going 7 innings, give or take, what they would have shown those hitters over those 7 innings? It's a whole new ball.
You know, it's funny because Rico and I, we've talked about it ad nauseum about in 67 when Gibson was pitching. And Rico said to me, he said, I knew going into that game that I did not stand a chance. And he struck out 4 times. Out 4 times.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, you know. So.
The problem with hitting Ryan is you knew it was coming. Hank Aaron said the same thing about Tom Seaver. Aaron said Seaver and Ryan are the only 2 pitchers I've ever seen that could throw nothing but fastballs for 9 innings and beat you because they're positive vertical, meaning their rise on the plane, up the plane. You just couldn't get the good sweet spot of the bat on the baseball. The ball lifted at the hitting zone, and you knew it was like Rivera's cutter, Tom. You knew it was coming, but you just couldn't hit it.
Interesting.
And even and Rivera was great. I'm not taking anything away from Rivera, but look at what happened with the Red Sox and Rivera over the course of his career. Hitters nowadays catch up to pitchers. I don't know if there's a guy today that you're comfortable seeing hitters for the 4th time. Or you see how pitchers work in division now. I mean, the division schedule has been softened a little bit, but good starting pitching has trouble in division sometimes because the guys just see him so much.
So, yeah, good point. Good point. Good point.
Well, and again, Lou, that's true. But again, if Jacob DeGrom is throwing a 9900 mile an hour fastball, knee high on the block, or one of his filthy 92, 93 mile an hour sliders, you could stand there all day. Good luck.
Yeah, you're right. But, all right, listen, we're just about out of time. Joe, when does when's the auction start?
September 10th, and it closes Saturday, October 4th.
All right, so that's a long run. That's a nice long run. You've got some unbelievable stuff. Just a few real quickly. You've got a 1902 W600 Sporting Life Eddie Plank Type 1 cabinet, a 1916 M101-5 Ruth Rookie PSA 1.5, still worth $300,000-400,000. Extremely rare 1909 E92 Cobb, only 3 known copies. You got a hell of a lot.
Nod your back, Tom.
The nod your back. That's right. Got a lot going on. Joe, we love having you. I really see, all kidding aside, I know that you went to great lengths today to get onto the show with us. It's called the Merit Expressway, or whatever the hell it's called.
Thank you.
But
all right.
thank you so much,
I took
Joe.
a Xanax. I'm okay.
All right, Joe. Louis, welcome aboard.
After the expressway, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
After,
Exactly.
yes.
Okay, great.
Lou, welcome aboard. Glad to have you, man.
Glad to be back.
We've gone full cycle pretty much, right?
Yes, we have.
And remember, this coming Saturday, Rico will be at PB Collectibles in beautiful downtown Newport, Rhode Island. Stop by, say hi. I'll be there. Rico will be there. He'll be signing, taking pictures. Rico, when Rico does a signing, man, like he just talks to people. He's all over the place, and we have a lot of fun. Yeah. With that being said, Joe, if you're not doing anything Saturday, pop up. We'll go out to lunch. I know you don't want to drive, but it's not that far. It really isn't.
It's a hike, Tom. It's
a couple of hours. With that being said, to our viewers and listeners, we love you guys. Louis, see you next week. Joe, take care of yourself. And to our viewers and listeners,
Lou, a pleasure.
Yeah, nice.
Great doing
Good
this
to talk to you, Joe, as always.
Happy collecting.